Not So Average Builder is sponsored by USAGundamStore.com, bringing the hobby to your front door. Use promo code NOTSOAVERAGE and get 10% off your next order. Hey guys, Tom here, and this is Not So Average Builder, and today we're going to be working on magnetizing kits, because who doesn't love a little magnet action? It's very important, especially when you have different posability that you want to do. It's primarily used in the 40K, 30K, and Age of Sigmar, or the miniature realm, so you can swap out weapons if you need to. So you go into one battle and then you go to another battle, you can swap out weapons. Some rule sets also allow for that as well, so you can, interchange stuff out to kind of make things a little better. And you can use it on gunpla, especially when you want to remove armor pieces pretty easily. You can sand down all the connectors and drill in the magnets, or drill and do whatever you need to do for the magnets. You'll find out how to do that in a minute. And then just stick the magnets on the back of the armor plates and the armor, and you've got magnetic armor, which is kind of a cool thing. And I may integrate that onto the Perfect Grade, I don't know. Before we get into all this, I want to say thank you to my current Patreons. We have Chris D and Fiddlesworth Frank, two awesome people that have decided to help me out by supporting the channel. All of the money that is donated goes back into the channel, whether buying new kits, new equipment to film with, new lighting, so on and so forth. All of that goes towards that. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. I just hit 409 today. It's amazing. I never in a million years, I know I've said this a bunch of times, but I've never in a million years thought I would ever get this far. So thank you to everyone that has subscribed, has supported me, has shared my work. It's humbling. It's amazing. I can't thank you enough. But going back to my Patreon, there are a ton of upcoming projects. I'm actually going to start possibly a Patreon only or Patreon exclusive video series. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do something to say thank you to you guys. And that'll be available to like the $10 and up tier, just to kind of give back to everyone who has supported me. But enough rambling on. Let's jump right into this project. Alright, to do what we're going to do to magnetize your kits, the first and most important thing you're going to need are your magnets. Now, I found these on Amazon. They are 1/16 by 132 magnets, perfect size for the arms on these guys. So that is number one. You can't really go anywhere. You can't magnetize your arms without magnets. This just happened to come with the proper size drill bit, which is great. Now, one thing I learned by doing this, don't just start with this. It's just like in woodworking, you want to make sure that you are doing step ups. So you start with a smaller one, work your way up to the correct size. Now, I'm going to be using 2 pin vices to make this process quicker. I'll have one that'll have the smaller drill bit and one that'll have the correct size drill bit, and that'll speed up the process. You don't have to do that. You can just swap out your drill bits into your singular pin vise. That's perfect. I had this one for many years ago and I lost it, so I bought another one, and this one just decided to show up. That's how that goes. And then secondly, you will need your piece that you're working on, and the arms are going to go on it. You kind of can't magnetize the arms without the arms. So that's that. We're going to use this out of the CSM starter box, essentially. It's going to be the start of my Night Lord's army. I wanted magnetic arms. Now, there are 2 arm kits that hold 1 rifle or 1 weapon. I didn't want to magnetize those because it's going to be too much of a pain in the butt. I'm just going to put these on the painting handles, and I'm going to go about my business. But as far as the single armed ones, and there are quite a few, I'm going to magnetize the arms so that I can take them off if I need to for storage or whatnot. Move them around to make them more action pose. That's what I want to do. So let's move all this stuff out of the way. I'll get it all set up, and we'll go from there. Alright, so I've got my 2 different size drill bits, and my starter bit, and my final bit. You could even possibly go a couple of steps in between here, but this is the biggest drill bit I've got, and it cuts into the plastic pretty well. I can make it work in between these. It's not going to be a perfect cut, so if you're looking for that exact perfect, make sure that you do a couple steps in between as far as drill bit sizes. So what we're going to do first, we're going to take a Sharpie that doesn't seem to want to write. We're going to color in the plastic. The reason why, take our arm, we're going to butt it up against and not do anything, but that's okay. So this is the problem that I ran into before, trying to figure out where the hole needs to be drilled on the kit and the arm. And what I ran into was I was putting the magnet too far forward and this too far back, so the arm was kind of sticking out. You can kind of see on here my first mistake. You can see the magnet. That's not what you want. You want it to hide the magnet and be flush. This is my first go around, wasn't that worried about it. And seeing as this is my army, I'm not that worried about it either way. So let's see if I can do it the opposite way. So we'll paint on here. And you can do this with paint as well if you've got a jar open. I don't have anything open right now, so well, that's not working. So plan B. We're going to go right in the center. Start drilling. Take the bigger size. Alright, now that that painstaking process is over, I'm going to take, and you can see the magnet fits flush, which is what you want. Now here's the problem though. You gotta glue this thing in. That is one thing I forgot to mention. You'll need some super glue. So what I'm going to do is take and dab some super glue on the end, a little bead of it. You're going to shove that in there, and move your other magnet off. Otherwise you're going to end up squishing the two together. And because of the super glue, it'll be forever together. But as you can tell, the magnet's flush. That's not the hard part. Getting the magnet in the center. This is the easy part. This, however, let me lay this down, is the fun part. Because now you've got to try and get the center of this, which is not a flat surface completely, to mate up with this. So the best thing to do is let this super glue dry for a bit, and we'll come back. Alright, so the glue's had time to dry. I kind of started drilling before I remembered to turn the camera on, but so what I did was just line the piece up and try and make a mental image of where the line is going to be, and it's pretty much just a flat surface, just at an angle. So you want to go in the center, start drilling. I've drilled this one already. Work on this one. Same principles before. Go slow, take your time, because the last thing you want to do is rush it and ruin your arm. So here's an important part to remember when testing your magnet. If you've tested one before, like the first one, and it fit in there really snug and you couldn't get it out, be careful when you're putting these in here the second time, because as you can tell, that's ready to go. But if I put it in like this, it's not going to want to go. So when you're testing, just make sure that you're, let's see, yeah, so you can alternate your stack of magnets. You see how this doesn't want to go together? So that means that this side is going to want to go to it. So you can test it with this side. I don't know if you can tell or not, but that's pretty flat. Same thing with the super glue. Wipe off any excess. And once this dries, you should have a magnetized arm. And you just repeat the process for the other side and do this about 8 million more times, and you'll have a magnetized army. Now I do recommend only doing this for like your bigger kits, the Imperial Knights, your Knights, magnetize different weapon options on your transports, stuff like that. And as far as gunpla, you can do this as well. So let me go off and finish the rest of this one, and I'll show you what it looks like. So I wanted to show you something real quick. I had messed up. I put the magnet in backwards, so it wouldn't go. Now the solution for this, if you've got the availability, I couldn't get it out with just my fingers. So I needed to drill next to it, as close to it as possible, and I drilled as far down as I could. And then I took my pliers, and you can only do this if the glue is not dry yet. And I had to pry it out, and now I've got it and it's on there. But pay attention to your magnets. The polarity will make or break this whole project. I messed up, wasn't paying attention. I put the magnet in backwards, and that's what happened. Luckily I was able to fix it because I caught it in time, but if I hadn't, this whole arm would have just been wasted. I'd either had to get a bigger magnet and drill out both the arm and the body to kind of make it stronger or to fit the bigger magnet, but pay attention to your polarity. Don't mess up like I did. Alright, and just like that, you've got a magnetized model. You can pose, you can move any which way you want to give it a more action theme. I mean, there's unlimited possibilities with this. It's super simple. It is time consuming because you do have to kind of go slow at this, because the last thing you want to do is drill in the wrong spot or somewhere that can be seen, and then you're having to fill in a hole or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's super simple, and you can, and you're good to go. It's that simple. So go out, pick yourselves up some magnets. If you're going to do the arms for the CSMs or Ultramarines or stuff, you'll need the 116 by 132 magnets. Like I said, I found this on Amazon for, I think it was like 15 bucks for 100 magnets. So it's kind of expensive in the long run, but it can be worth it depending on, like, if you're doing 100 of these, don't do it. Trust me, you will go insane. I'm only doing a select few just because, you know, why not? I want to give it a shot, see what you guys think about it. It is definitely an awesome thing to be able to just, you know, do this. Not only that, so say you've got a heavy weapons guy and you want to alternate out between weapons layouts, you can magnetize the arms and swap out the different weapons layouts. So if I wanted to, I could put a different bolt pistol on this, or a different chainsword if I wanted to, just because. But yeah, that's all I got. So thank you guys very much for watching. Goodbye.